right, welcome back, everybody, for some more members first content. Members will get this first when I'm done filming and editing this on Thursday, June 15th. Everyone else will have to wait until Friday afternoon to check out my top 10 books for this week. Hopefully, you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Please like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And yes, you may see some familiar books on this list from last week, but hey, I don't control the market. The market is what the market is, and what's selling is what's selling. So if you want to see what those books are, just hang up for a few seconds after the intro, and I will give you my quick rundown in 10 minutes of this week's top 10 books. Alrighty, well, let's get ourselves all set and let me get my clock ready so we can start our top 10 in 10 minutes or less. We might run under this week because, again, we got some repeats, so there's not going to be a lot for me to talk about. But let's get it started right now with my follow-up to my Wednesday watch list. So these are the new books this week that were just released on New Comic Book Day Wednesday that, might be moving. A lot of these books, pre-sales, were making you think things were going to happen that didn't. All of those second print 1 of 25s that were pre-selling for double ratio, etc., I barely sold after. I am seeing no sales of any kind for some of those books, so they did not make the list. But what did make the list is our 1 in 100 Void Rivals #1, which we now have the clear cover image, the spoiler cover image of what's going on in this book. Yeah, by now you know Transformers and G.I. Joe are coming to Skybound in the coming months, and they were, well, at least Transformers were kind of teased and reintroduced here in Void Rivals #1. Before Wednesday, this book was pre-selling for like $200, like $190, $230. Look, there was $100 sales as well, like right there before Wednesday. Since Wednesday, what are we looking at? Kind of the same. A lot of the same. Look, $200, $130, $120. These are all sales that were done today. So we're seeing some pretty close to ratio, some double ratio sales. Suffice to say, there could be a lot of these out there. I would try not to get FOMO on this book. I mean, it is what it is. It's not the first appearance of any particular character outside of the Void Rivals characters. And the Transformers being reintroduced to the Skybound universe, or they're introducing this universe, this Energon universe, now over at Skybound. It isn't their first. It is just, they moved. They moved. Just like when Transformers moved from Marvel to IDW and Dreamwave, etc. They just moved publishers. So, keep that in mind when you go out there, pulling your wallet out for this book, because it can get a little bit pricey. I paid a little extra for it, but that's because I'm biased and I'm a Transformers fan, so I knew what I was doing and I knew what I was buying. I wasn't buying for investment purposes. I spent what I spent because I just wanted the book and I like the cover. So with that all said, you make informed decisions what to do with your own money, and just keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on the volumes, because we could be seeing more of these trickle out, because I'm starting to see a lot of incentives being released for this Void Rivals book that were not announced weeks ago. It's just in the last couple of days, a lot of stores seem to have exclusives, and they will have extra copies of this 1 in 100. So we may be seeing more and more of these hitting the market in the coming days. That said, let's move on. A book from last week. Again, I said then I didn't know why it was selling. I don't know why it's still selling, but it is. 25 plus sales doesn't seem like a lot, but for a 1 in 25 incentive, that's not too bad. There's a lot of movement on this 1 in 25. And last week, this was like around like $30, 35. Now we're seeing $50 sales. Still selling on this book. This character, yeah, he gave Luke the lightsaber. I don't know, but I know there's a Sith in there that everybody's excited for, but she's not on the cover. I guess that's what it is. It must be this Sith that we know literally nothing about. We don't know if we'll ever see her again. That must be what's moving the book, because it can't be this Dr. Cueto or whatever the heck his name was, because this story's done. Like, we're done with him. But whatever. This is still moved up to about $50 to $55. And like I said, over 25 sales. So not too bad. An announcement this week. Coyotes is going to be adapted by Jordan Peele, I believe, maybe for a TV show. I think, who else was involved? I can't remember the other name, but somebody else was involved with Jordan Peele for this Coyotes series. Image book, not a lot of, it's Image print run, so it's not a huge, Marvel. There's probably like around 10,000 thereabouts or something like that. But this book started moving again. So since it was announced just a couple of days ago, this went from cover price to now, 12 bucks, 10 bucks, $15. And you saw like 40 plus sales over that time. So just in the last couple of days. So a lot of people are going and grabbing this book that you might have already had in your spec box from ages ago, because maybe it's coming to fruition, but who knows? That said, another book moving on the market based off of Spider-Verse. Get ready. We got to put our Spider-Man pants on again because we get a lot of Spider books again. Across the Spider-Verse was entertaining. I liked it. I liked it a lot. And a lot of comics are now moving as a result of that movie. Spider-Gwen 1. Not her first appearance, but this is her first solo. We got to see her universe. We spent a good bit of time with Gwen in this movie. And this book is selling pretty well. So 40 plus sales over the last week. You can see some of the prices here, which have kind of been close to where they've been. It's more about the volume more so than a price increase. But hitting like 30 to 40 bucks ain't too bad. It's a little more than normal. But 120 still for a 9 ain't too shabby either. But it's more that volume of 40 plus sales over the last 7 days is why it's made our list for this week. Making it back onto our list again is The Spot. So, first appearance of The Spot in Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man 98. He is not on the cover, but he is in the guts of this book. Another 50 plus sales this week, which is why it finds itself returning again to our top 10 list. I don't like doing duplicates, but I can't stop the fact that this is still selling and selling at high amounts. Look, prices still about the same as where they've been. 35 to 50, maybe a slight uptick in some of these more recent sales, but not a ton. It's more about the volume than it is about the price. But that's still not too bad for a book that has been specced on for a while, as we knew the Spot was the villain. But since we know, I'm not going to spoil the movie, but still a lot of people in on The Spot. So go see the movie. It was entertaining. But we didn't have this one on the list, and it seems to be moving even more. And that is his first cover appearance on the next issue. So the next issue has 60 plus sales. And I like the cover. Like the cover, it's fun. You got the Spot. He's kicking all the holes. You get it. It's almost like it's right from the movie, except that's not Miles. That's Peter Parker. But with 60 plus sales, this one is also made our list for this week. And this one, again, you can find some sales as cheap as like 20 bucks. And it's also going up to like $50 and $35. I mean, condition sensitive, obviously, but a lot of copies are moving and prices are kind of all over the place for this one because, he's on the cover, but he was in the issue before. So take that for what it is. Which book you want? Most people want both. You can find some sets for sale as well. Up next on our 10 list is another repeat. Sorry, this is our second repeat of the week, or third, I guess, technically, because that Star Wars book. Another 60 plus sales on Secret Wars 8. People are still investing in this book every week, it seems. So maybe I'm just going to have to say this is the norm and we're going to just take this off going forward. I don't know, but 60 plus sales still is a lot for a comic to be moving in the week. So $100 to $200 still it seems to be the area for those raw sales. Again, condition sensitive, and you got the newsstands versus direct, whichever. Pick your poison. That's what you got out there. And again, another repeat, but Spider-Punk is still here. So with more sales this week than last week, as a lot of people enjoyed Spider-Punk in this movie, including myself. Rumors of a spinoff have people starting to invest more into Spider-Punk. I thought about putting that 1 in 50 back on the list because it was like over 10 to 15 sales of a 1 in 50, which is a lot. But I stuck with this one because 70 plus sales for the first appearance ain't too bad either. This includes the 1 in 10. I'll say that's mixed in here. So Spider-Punk's first appearance, there is that 1 in 10 cover that has Miles on it. You can see that in the middle of this grouping, kind of in that same price range. This is a $50 to $100 book now. Based on the Spider-Punk, whether it's the regular or the 1 in 10, it doesn't seem to matter too much on the price. Like you're not paying a big premium for that 1 in 10. That said, it's still speculation that we might get more from Spider-Punk, but a lot of people are excited and a lot of people are into the character. 2 more books. We can get this done in 90 seconds. Our other big book of last week, because multitude of sales, it's still selling. So Spider-Man 2099, also stories not complete. We got Beyond the Spider-Verse coming next spring, so it's not that long of a wait until March. So we'll be seeing these characters again, and people are still excited. 225 plus sales again, so well over 200 again, back-to-back weeks. Has it here on our list. still in that $15 to kind of $25 price range, which might be a tiny bit more than last week's, like 10 to, you can find more $10 copies than you can now. So the floors kind of come up a bit. So floors kind of come up a bit, even though there are a lot of copies of this book out there. So keep that in mind as well. But again, it's mostly about the volume. That's why this one is here once again. And our last book is another book that's tying back into what we've seen not only in the comics with Void Rivals, that we know Skybound has the properties of G.I. Joe and Transformers, but G.I. Joe Transformers crossover sales are also moving because of, sorry for another spoiler if you haven't seen it, but Rise of the Beasts teases G.I. Joe entering this Hasbro-verse crossover universe in the movies as well. So, properties coming together. I'm excited. A lot of people are excited. This is a book that's got 100 plus sales over the week. It's still not selling for a ton. You can still find them in those cheap boxes. The whole 4-issue miniseries. Look, $10, $15. The 1 and 2 sold for $25. The whole set of 4 is over $75. Some crazy sales there too. Prices are all over the place. Multiple crossovers between these two. Multiples. IDW, etc. But this is the one that everyone's gravitating first, and we managed to finish it in our 10 minutes. So with that, thank you, all members. You guys get this first. Appreciate you all, but I appreciate everybody. So whether you're a member or not, please just make sure all of you watching this are subscribed. That is what you can do for me. Do me a solid. Just make sure you're subbed up to the channel. And yeah, and I'll have more content for you. But with that said, let me know what you think of the list. Let me know if I'm going to try to get rid of some of these books, even though if you guys keep buying them, I'm still going to try to clear them off the decks next week, because we're talking way too many Spider books. Way too many Spider books. I've been seeing a lot over and over again. So hopefully the market gives me something new to work with next week. But like I said, I can't control it. I'm just reporting what I see. And with that said, thanks again, and I'll see you all later with some more content. All right, bye.